everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be talking about how I ended up getting a 4.0 in my first semester of college. By the way, don't mind me, I'm just wrote it all down right here, so ignore me looking down if I am. But so I'm going to start by talking about my mindset coming into college. So I always knew from day one, actually since I've graduated, since my senior year of high school, yeah, I knew that I needed / wanted to get a 4.0 in college. Like, my goal is to get a 4.0 all semesters until I graduate, but I knew especially like my freshman year I want to get a 4.0. Like, I just need to get straight A's and things like that. Because I want to go to medical school, so I know you have to have a really high GPA to even be competitive in that field. So my goal was to get a 4.0, and also I figured and knew that the classes are going to get harder as my years go on in college. So if I get the 4.0, I have kind of like a buffer just in case I do struggle in a class or two and get like a B or something, so my GPA won't really be hurt that much. Also, when it comes to my mindset, I knew like I wasn't really happy with the person I was my senior year of high school. I wasn't really happy with the friends I was around, yeah, there was just a lot of things I wanted to change about myself, and I felt like college was the perfect way to do it. If I wanted to get the good grades that I didn't get in high school before my senior year, so I can get good grades in college, I can have friends who are like me, friends who are about the things that I'm about, all of the above. Like, I just was like, okay, college is the place where I can go and be who I really want to be. I can change my life around. Like, I can be the best version of myself. And also I can make friends. I can make a lot of friends. I can have friends who, like I said before, like the same stuff as me. Because toward the end of my senior year, I knew, I was just like, I don't really like these people no more. I don't want to hang out with these people as much and things like that. So I don't really have too many friends from high school still. But, yeah, the friends I made in college. So, in college, I'm friends with my roommate, and I made 2 other friends. All 4 of us were in a group chat before we even came to college. So we kind of were already chatting with some other people before we got there, but we ended up all being on the same floor, so we it was easy for us to be friends, and we actually ended up liking each other. So yeah, so we all like friends and things like that, and they're really cool people. Like, I love them. I'm always with them, like 25/8 always. And I like those people because they all were about their grades too, and I'm like, because you don't want to hang out with people who get D's and C's if you're trying to get all A's, because it's just not going to work out. It's going to be harder, I should say. I'm not going to say it's not possible, but it's going to be harder because you're around people who don't care about their grades, so they might influence you to do things besides your homework and stuff. So, before I get to the studying thing, I'm going to talk about my experiencing was with partying. So when it comes to partying, I discovered, so in high school, I was like, I love a good party. Like, I love partying. I cannot wait to go to a party. But I get to college, and I realize I do not like partying. I really don't. I don't know what it is, but I'm just not a partier for some reason. I don't know. Which helped me, considering that instead of going to party, I might as well come here and do my homework, because why not? I have nothing else to do. But yeah, but if someone who's watching this video is a partier, just make sure like you time manage and make sure you get all your work done. Because even for me, I did go to a few parties, and I still probably will go to a few parties, but before I go to those parties, I make sure that I have all of my work done that I need to get done before I go. Like, if you know, like, write down a list and to be like, oh, I need to get A, B, and C done. If you don't get A, B, and C done, then you can't go to the party. You need to be strict and disciplined with yourself so you can get those grades that you want. And then next, we have teachers. So when it comes to teachers, you should really try everything in your power to get on their good side. And it's gonna be hard because, like, half of my classes were in huge lecture halls with like 200+ students. There's a lot of people, so it's gonna be hard for your teachers to be like, oh, there's there's Ryan, I know her. It's not. So you're gonna have to go out of your way to make yourself known. So the first day of school, I went and I introduced myself to all my teachers. Didn't really do anything, so I'm not gonna say don't do that, but that one encounter doesn't matter, because like I said, they see so many people. They see so many people throughout the day, so your one introduction is not gonna matter. But what I do suggest is, in class, especially the ones with the big lecture halls, always ask questions. Even if you think it's the dumbest question, ask questions. It will not hurt you. Ask questions. And the more you ask questions, the more they see that you're engaged, and they'll be like, oh, okay, like, oh, I always look out for her. I'm gonna look out for her because she's always engaged and she knows, she wants to hear what I'm, teaching. So when you do that, they're gonna be like, oh, they're gonna look out for you, and they're gonna remember your face and things like that. And then after you've been like asking questions and stuff, go up to them even after class. Go to their office hours to even ask questions. Go to their office hours just to have a conversation, because the more comfortable and the more they know you, the more they can actually like, oh, oh, I like her, I like him, da da da. So when it comes to studying, when I first got to school, my school personally has free tutoring, so you can just go in to, they have drop-in tutoring and they have scheduled tutoring. So you can sign up for scheduled tutoring for like a class, for example, like chemistry. A lot of people sign up for scheduled tutoring because they know from day one that it's going to be hard and they're going to need tutoring. So if you're people like that, then if your school has it, definitely sign up for scheduled tutoring, because it's not going to hurt. So basically scheduled tutoring is, I think you meet with your tutor a few times a week and work on things that you and your tutor, discuss. But drop-in tutoring is more like they have set times at different locations around campus, and you just come in with your question or your work or whatever, and you come in, do it, and ask to the tutor for questions and things like that. And yeah, so I didn't do any scheduled tutoring, but I did drop-in tutoring for chemistry and math. So especially for chemistry, when the first exam was coming up, I went to tutoring all the time, like all the time, because it was my first college exam. I did not know what to expect. Chemistry, it's not like I was good at chemistry before I got to college, so I was like, oh, I need to definitely go to tutoring. I don't know what I'm doing. So I would go to tutoring and just ask questions and get help. But for the exam specifically, my teacher posts practice exams. So basically he'll post the exam from last year and post it for us to practice with. So one of the things that helped me the most with tutoring, I went to tutoring and I brought the practice exam with me, and I sat there and did it with the tutor next to me. And then afterward, I went and checked my answers, and all the ones that I got wrong, I went to her and I asked her why I got it wrong, and can she help me understand. So by doing that, it helped me so much, because I actually understood what I did wrong. And she gave me like different, because tutors especially, they can they might have different ways they learned it, or different ways to help you remember, they help themselves remember it. So by going to tutoring, so you don't understand it in class, but they can explain it better than you learned it in class, and now you understand it. So it was really helpful for me. And I did that for math a few times too. If I had quick questions, if I couldn't understand the homework, I would go. Another thing, the only kind of true studying I did on my own was I did practice problems. So for chemistry and math, I just always, like for tests or quizzes, I always just did a whole bunch of practice problems, like did a whole bunch of math problems, did a whole bunch of chemistry problems and equations and all of that, because those classes aren't really memorization, more than knowing how to solve a problem. Chemistry has a little bit of memorization, but for the most part it was like problem solving. So I would just sit here and do a whole bunch of practice problems until I can't do them no more, or I can't find any more. And that would be helpful, because it's just repetition, and I'm like, oh, I understand that. And especially with chemistry, it could be the same problem, but you might have to solve it in different kind of ways. So you have to make sure you try to do as many problems in different forms as possible, because you don't want to only practice it one certain way and then you get to the test and he asks it a different way, and you have to take the equation and solve it a different route, and you didn't practice that. So yeah, practice problems was my best friend. It still are my best friend. But other than that, I didn't do too much studying for my other classes, like biology, college writing, etc. For biology, I really just looked over my notes and I would write down, like, say I was talking about photosynthesis, I would write down everything I knew about photosynthesis, try to write out the process, write out what it goes through, and then I would go check my notes. If I forgot something, then I'm like, okay, I know I need to go back and try to memorize it and see what I don't remember, and just keep rereading it and keep writing it down until I do remember it. For college writing, it's writing, so that was a little, it's hard to really study for that. You don't really study because I didn't get not one test in that class. But yeah, so those are really my main classes that I had to study for. And yeah, that's how I studied for school. But I definitely do think that I need to find some kind of study pattern, a study schedule, something, because I did get the 4.0, but I felt like this semester I barely got the 4.0, if that makes sense. Next semester I'm definitely going to try harder so that, like, I'm more guaranteed for that 4.0, because so I got the 4.0, guys, but I thought I wasn't going to get it at first because I had all A's throughout the whole entire semester, but at one point I had an A-, so it was all A pluses and 1 A-, which makes a 3.95 GPA. I would have been happy with a 3.95 GPA, but I was really determined for that 4.0. So I had an A- in math, and it was like a 92 point something %, and I just needed a 93 to get an A+. So it was finals week, and I was just like, yes, I just need to get an A on this exam. I did what, 70 problems for review, and then I did another practice exams for that class, because I was trying to get as close to 100% on that exam as possible so that I can get this 4.0. So I did all of that. I went and took the exam, and then I go look at my test score, and I got an A. I was so happy. I was like, yes, my hard work paid off. But then the A I got on my exam was a 90. So by having a 90, it brought my grade from a 92 to a 91, because if I wanted to get a 93, I would have had to got a 93 or higher on my exam to balance it out to give me that 93. But since I got less than a 93, less than a 92 as well, it brought me down. So I was just like, oh dang, I definitely got this 3.95. I was so sure I got this 3.95. But then I go and look at my GPA like a week or two later, and it says a 4.0, and I'm just like, what? Where did this come from? I was so happy. And then I was like, I realized that my teacher bumped my grade up because it said a 91 and there was no other grades going in. So, but she bumped my grade. But that's also why you need to get on the good side of your teachers, because her class, she was really quiet. Most people didn't ever answer the questions when she would ask them, but I would always try to answer the questions when I could and things like that. So she ended up knowing my name, you know, getting to know me a little bit. So you never know. That's why you always need to try to be as respectful and good to your teachers as possible, because things like that, they can really help you out when it matters. So that's all for today's video. Thank you guys for watching so much. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Leave a comment down below about what other videos you guys want to see from me and things like that. But thank you guys so much for watching.